Hi, I'm Tamara Zoner. Welcome to Spirit Cafe. Come in, sit down, and grab a cup of love. Welcome, everyone, to Spirit Cafe. I'm Tamara Zoner, your host. It's good to be back with you again this week. Today, I'm always excited, as you know, to talk to cool people. And Chancellor Jackson has a story that not many people can share. So let's dig right in and say hello to Chancellor. Hello, how are you doing today?
What's going on? Blessings and balance to you, Tamara. Blessings and balance to everyone that's tuning in right now. Shout out to y'all. Y'all the real MVPs for sure.
Thank you. So the one thing I know about you, Chancellor, is that you had a pretty incredible experience in Beijing. So we can circle back to some background, but I kind of want to jump right in and ask you, who was Chancellor before and who is Chancellor after?
So before 14 days in Beijing, Chancellor was pretty much just a young kid, fresh out of college, trying to find himself. Honestly, trying to figure out what was next. He played football vast majority of his life. He got to play all throughout college. So once college ball came to end, we knew NFL was not going to be a part of the next step. So it's like, okay, damn, bro, you know what I'm saying? What's next? What we finna do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do you like to do? What are you good at doing? What do you aspire to be? Who do you aspire to be, bro? Like, what are you good at aside from playing football? What's your purpose? You know what I mean? Like, what's finna be? Who are we? What's finna be next for us? So it was from there, me having no clue what it was. I was like, well, with that being said, I just got to try a bunch of stuff till I figure it out. And I just started applying for jobs. I was mainly applying for corporate positions, sales, marketing, management, that whole nine. And I'm landing interviews. I'm talking about getting flown out, put up in hotels, the whole nine. And 8 months done passed, and I still ain't landing nothing.
Okay.
I done graduated. I'm back home. Like, bro, what's going on? Like, I ain't do everything quote unquote the textbook way, and I still got the short end of the stick. But I knew that something out there was better. You know what I'm saying? In regards to everything that I had an opportunity at, but didn't fall through. I was like, something else is better out there for you. You got to keep going. And let's try switching up your job searching. Clearly, corporate ain't for you, bro. We need to try something else. So just switched up my job searching approach, broadened it, and that's what I came across, the opportunity to teach English to children in China. Read the description. I'm like, okay, I feel I could do this. That's how I was applying for most jobs anyway. Main reason why these jobs, well, at least the jobs I was interviewing for kept telling me no was, oh, you lack the experience, da 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 da. It's like, y'all knew that when I submitted my resume.
Right.
Like, you knew that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was like, for sure, whatever y'all say, there's something else better out there. So I saw the job to teach English to children. Read the description. I'm like, okay, I feel I can do this. Basic requirements. They only had 3. Bachelor's degree, no matter what your degree is in. Clean background, native English speaking.
Okay.
Ain't no ifs, ands. I'm like, okay, bet. I apply, hear back from the recruiter. We set up an interview, do the interview. A few more days pass. They was like, yeah, we want to move forward with you as a candidate. First job to tell me yes.
Wow.
Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is what we finna do. And I got hired in like July, but I ain't actually entered China till October because it was a 3-month long process just to get the visa,
Right.
just to go over there. So in between, you know what I'm saying? And before I went out there, I was like, let me start learning a little bit of this language because I ain't trying to be out there and don't know nothing. That's foolish.
Nice.
I started training, getting my TEFL certificate, so teaching English as a foreign language. And I was like, well, since I'm going to be working with kids, I might as well get used to being around kids. So I found 2 jobs in my county, one as a lunchroom monitor at one elementary school, the other one as an after-school program counselor at a whole different other elementary school. So I'm like, okay, boom, this is going to be good, you know what I'm saying, to get my feet wet and, you know what I'm saying, to prepare for this journey. So I entered China on October 10th, 2018. The first 2 weeks, they put us up in a hotel while we went through our training, and we had to find a place to live within those 2 weeks as well. So at the end of those 2 weeks, we was done with training and we was entering our actual schools, and hopefully you had some place to live. If not, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. But once we found an apartment on the east side of Beijing in Qingnanlu, the business district, And it took me about a month and a half to get fully settled in, especially
And
once the
that's
money started.
fast with a
Yeah,
huge move like that. That's
I just
fast.
needed the money to come back
Yeah.
rolling in. All the money we put up, oh yeah, once that started rolling back in, it was smooth sailing since. And we was living our best life in China. Best experience by far. I always tell people to travel abroad for sure. But if you
Yes.
can live abroad someplace else, I highly
100%.
recommend it. And you
Mhm.
ain't got to be there long. I was only in China for 6 months and I got a full experience of it. So you ain't got
Yeah.
to be there long. So living my best life, enjoying all that China has to offer. I'm loving the people, the culture, the food, exploring Beijing, working with the kids. I'm like, man, that was really the upside to it. I'm like, this is what I'm out here to do. So the fact that I'm enjoying working with the kids, I'm like, oh yeah, this is lit. And then on April 4th, 2019, that's when things took a turn. Things took a turn, and I was arrested inside of my apartment. I honestly don't know what my specific charges were. None of that was explained to me.
Wow.
But it was a day off for me. I was getting ready to go to an event because the company I work for, they host team builder events every month. They be having like a list of different ones you could choose from. So I was going to go to this fan painting event. You know, they got the Chinese fans. You get to customize your
Right.
own. So I was going to go to that. So I'm like, before I go, I'm a pregame. For those that don't know what pre-gaming is, say you and your friends finna go out on a night full of festivities, and it's like, hey, let's meet up at so and so house first, and we're gonna party at their house, and then we're gonna go out and have more fun. So I'm
Right.
in the apartment by myself, drinking a Chinese wine cooler, and smoking some cannabis out my little silver pipe. I get done, making sure I'm getting dressed, make sure I got everything before I get ready to walk out the door. Hear a knock at the door. Guests aren't unfamiliar, but curious to see who it is. I looked through the peephole, and there stood three officers from the Beijing police. Now, instantly, of course, my heart sunk to my stomach. I'm sick. Like, oh, what they doing here? Is
Yeah.
this their first time showing up to the apartment randomly? No, this is like the third time. So I'm like, okay, this is something that they do routinely. Like, I'm not sure what they want this time. So I scrambled to put everything up, open the door. They enter. The officers first question me about drugs. Um, I'm from Atlanta, city of finesse. You live by the finesse, you die by the finesse. So he's sitting here asking me about drugs. I'm sitting there playing the fool like I don't know what he talking about. Drugs, nah, but I don't know what you talking about. You got me confused. Somebody else passport. I need some passport. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to finesse the situation.
Hmm.
So I go grab my visa, passport, document, all my documentation. I bring it into the living room, give it to the officer to look over. And the other two officers, they just scoping the place out. They just walking around the apartment, just looking around. They ain't really looking into anything, but they got wandering eyes.
Hmm.
Time passes a little bit more. Another officer enters the apartment. He has something in his hand. I don't know what he has, but he hands it to the officer that I was talking to originally. And that officer tells me that I need to pee into this cup. So it's a drug test right there on the spot.
Oh,
And right
wow.
then and there, oh yeah, I was like, oh yeah, it's over with. I said, it's over with, boy. So do the drug test, fail the drug test, of course.
Right.
Now it's about 8 officers in the apartment, and they all now they really rummaging through the through the apartment now. One officer in particular speaks English fluently, and he just approaches me. He's asking me about failing the drug test, where I get the drugs from, what's the last time I smoked, da 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 da. Now, like I said earlier, I'm from Atlanta, the city of finesse. You live by
Hmm.
the finesse, you die by the finesse. So me and the officer, we just going back and forth. First thing that come to my whatever question he posed, first thing that come to my mind, I'm just blurting out. I ain't really thinking about it. I'm just boom, just spitting it out. And it got to the point where I was catching myself lie. So I knew he was catching me lying.
Oh, man.
But hey, you live by the finesse, you die by the finesse. So I'm just going back and forth. I'm going to sit here and finesse like until I can't no more. So we just going back and forth, going back and forth. Then once he realized I wasn't going to give him nothing he could work with, he pretty much just made it clear, hey man, you call red-handed, the charade is up, you know what I'm saying? The drug test proves you smoked this, you know what I'm saying, as recent as a week ago, you know what I'm saying? We know who. I'm like, okay, for sure. I died by the finesse this time. It is what it is. I lived to finesse another day. Now I gotta hold myself accountable. You know what I mean? So I fess up to it. They want me to show them my stash. So I get to show them my stash, but when I get there, lo and behold, everything's been discovered, it's on display. They was just
Right.
trying to see if they was, you know what I'm saying, gonna get any extra out of me. But they
Right.
confiscated everything, throw the cuffs on me, escort me out the building, set me down in the police van, and all forms of the communication cease to exist after this. Like once I'm set down in the van, there's no more communication moving forward for the rest of the whole story. You don't know how long you're finna be in this situation, how this thing finna play out until it just plays out. You know what I mean? So that's just pretty much the story. I'm locked up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 15 men to one cell, 9 wooden beds, 3 soups a day. All I had was one Tupperware bowl and one plastic spoon. Nobody knew I was there. Like I said, nothing was explained to me in regards to how this process works, how the jail even operates. I have no clue what's going on. I'm just in this cell and it's not looking too good. But I got to hold myself accountable and I got to take this to the chin. I knew I was going to be good when it was all said and done. I just didn't know how it was going to play out. But I remember telling myself to take note of every minor detail because it's going to be a great story to tell once you're out of this predicament. And most importantly, boy, enjoy this high one last time because we don't know what's going to happen to us, boy. Oh, me. But yeah, that's pretty much the story for sure, for sure.
So what were those 14 days like for you? And did you find yourself moving through a transformation? So yeah, finesse, accountability.
Yeah.
Now 14 days in a tiny room with a whole bunch of other, mostly probably Chinese men.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen. What was the internal process for you? What stages did you go through?
Mm-hmm. Well, so like when I first got in there, that's when reality fully kicked in. Like the whole time I'm going through precinct, just in custody still. I'm just in disbelief, trying to make sense out of it. Just reflecting on what I could have did better, how I could have responded better. And I'm like, regardless if I would have extra cannabis on me or not, with me failing the drug test, I was gonna still be in the same predicament. So I was damned if I did, damned if I did it. You know what I'm saying? So I was just replaying the situation and trying to figure out. It was just what I could have did better, all this, that, and the other. But it's like, hey, man, regardless, you'll still be in this predicament. So we got to take this to the chin. Mm-hmm. But it's just really like, okay, it is what it is. You know what I mean? There's no point of crying over spilled milk. I gotta take this to the chin. Now, moving forward, what needs to happen for you to get up out of here? Now that's how I'm thinking. Okay, well, first thing first, people got to realize you in here. All right. Well, you didn't show up to that event. You was gonna meet friends at. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they called. You didn't answer. Is that a red flag? Nah. It's weird. It ain't a red flag though. Mm-hmm. Now, when you don't show up for your classes Saturday and Sunday, all hell is breaking loose because now they have to find somebody to cover all those classes last minute. And one of the colleagues I was going to meet at that fan paint event, me and her work at the same exact school. So I didn't show up to that event. Mm-hmm. They called, I ain't answer. Now I ain't showing up for work. And they called and I still ain't answering. Red flag. Something's wrong. All right, so I'm like, boom, that's one. I had a girlfriend at the time that still lived in America, but we talked regularly. I said, when I don't respond to 2 of her messages, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's another red flag. So I'm like, I'm going to know I'm going to have to at least sit through this weekend before I become missing on people's radar. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to have to stay down, you know what I'm saying, till Monday, and hopefully the search for me will begin then. But it's really, I ain't got control of anything at this point. So it's like, all I can control is just me and how I'm choosing to look at the situation and react to it. So it's just like, man, let's just try to take this thing step by step. You know what I'm saying? So like, come Monday, hopefully we'll hear something. Monday came. I think, I moved from that cell to a new cell. And in that new cell, now I'm amongst 2 English speakers. So now I can finally communicate. So the first 3 days, it's no communication whatsoever. Just me, a lot of reflection. My observation through what's going on and just, you know what I'm saying, my perspective on it. And now we move forward, chapter 4, day 4. Now I can finally communicate with somebody. I'm with a Chinese American from California and the other English speaker is a Brazilian from Brazil, but they're both fluent in English and Mandarin. So not only can I communicate with them, I can communicate with everybody in the cell now. You know what I'm saying? So now it's just really interesting at this point because like, okay, you get to learn about these 2 new characters and what their backgrounds is, how they ended up in here. And now you can also learn about the actual Chinese people that's locked up here, learn about, you know what I'm saying, more of their culture, how strict China is, just, you know what I'm saying, for them being in there. And it's very enlightening as far as learning about a group of people, a culture, a whole different world, essentially. And just how I experienced it just from my lens. Mm-hmm. But I prayed to my ancestors heavily throughout the whole ordeal. So that definitely kept my spirits high and kept me positive. But really, once I got to that second set, it eased some of the tension because, you know what I'm saying, I got somebody alone. Misery loves company. You know what I'm saying? So
For sure.
I got somebody I can talk. I got somebody I can talk to now and start connecting the dots. But I still have no clue how long I'm gonna be here. But ironically enough, everybody I talk to now knows all the information to the T. They know exactly what they was charged with, how long they gonna be here. They know all the information to the T. I'm the only one that nothing was explained to. Ironically, you know what I'm saying? But that's what makes my story what it is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. So we just you locked up until one day folks just called my name to come on, and then we took me straight to my apartment to pack the rest of my stuff, and then straight to the airport where I was deported from the country immediately.
Okay, so out.
Yeah, got me on up out of there.
Okay.
Sure.
So what did you learn about yourself? I mean, it sounds like you had a pretty strong foundation of like everything makes me stronger, you know, a spiritual foundation where you could pray to your ancestors and know that whatever it was, this is going to make a good story. I'm going to get through this. So where does that base come from? So you might have to go back to childhood or wherever it needs to go back to, but where did you get that inner strength?
Football.
Really?
Playing football. You know what I'm saying? Football is just everything I went through. You know what I'm saying? Adversity is going to strike in our lives, and adversity introduces a man to himself or a woman to herself. You know what I mean? And knowing when to take accountability for our actions. You know what I'm saying? I had like just a set of unfortunate events transpired, and now I'm just in this jail cell. Yeah, no, that's not the case. That's not the case at all. You consciously made a decision that you knew that could have put you in this predicament. So the fact that happened, hey man, ain't nobody to be upset with or point the finger at but you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It is what it is. So it's like, but I learned all that from football. You know what I'm saying? Gotta being able to hold yourself accountable, you know what I'm saying, when you don't do what you're supposed to do. Because all it takes is one person not to do their job, or it's the little things, you know what I'm saying? You do one thing wrong, or little, you know, and it could be catastrophe. So but all that
jail for 14 days
on me. So it's all that country. Man, football taught me all of that. So and Red definitely had me get through it for sure. Especially from the mental standpoint.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so how are you changed from this experience? First, you probably won't be smoking cannabis in foreign countries.
No. What? Do your research before y'all go anywhere.
Right.
Do your research.
You talked about living in foreign countries. I lived in Singapore for 5 years.
They're strict.
I wouldn't chew gum on the street, right?
They're strict. They're strict.
Yeah. So, wow. Clearly a little bit of free spirit, like you're going to live your life and
for sure,
take the risks and then deal with the consequences. So now you come home. Okay. You're home. You're that job that was pretty cool. You were enjoying it. Now you're home after 14 days in a Beijing prison.
Oh, man.
What do you do now?
Exactly. I was like, it was like when football came to the end all over again. It was literally like that. Okay.
Yeah.
We back to square one all over again. Like we were back in this, you know what I'm saying? The same position. Like, okay, bro, what are we going to do? How are we going to bounce back? What's next? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the only difference between now and when football ended, you have experience. And you have not no regular experience, but you have experience on the other side of the world. So I'm like, bro, that's gonna open up doors for you. Yeah. So we definitely need to keep our foot on this gas, because I still don't know what it is I want to do. I've had plenty of time to sit back and reflect on everything, and I knew once I got back to America, I needed to link up with one of my friends. I was like, I don't know why, but one of my spirits telling me I need to link up with him, and I don't know. Just me linking up with him, I feel like we'll be able to do something with this experience that makes a little bit more sense out of it. So me and him just kicking it. I'm talking about this months past. This is like July now. And he was like, hey, bro, you should write a book about your experience getting locked up in China. I was just like, I was like, boy, that was just like a light bulb. Like, boy, that's it. That's it. I don't even know where to start, what to do, man. But that's it though. He took it even a step further. He took my phone from me, went to my notes, and left me a 5-layer outline. And I just went in and started filling in the outline. With me filling in the outline, I called the flow for how I wanted to tell the story. So I moved it from my notes on my phone to Google Docs so I could type it up on the computer. 4 months later, the story was finished, written, and additional 6 months getting it ready for publish.
Right.
And so I got locked up on April 4th, 2019. On April 4th, 2020, the anniversary year, I released the very first version of 14 Days in Beijing. I was ranked the #1 new bestseller in 3 different genres.
Nice.
On
Wow.
me.
Wow.
On
So
me.
that feels good.
On me.
So now you're sharing your story. And do you feel like you found your purpose now?
Oh, yeah. All the questions I was posing myself when football came to the end, I can answer all of them elaborately and thoroughly now. Oh, yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? I found an identity. You know what I mean? And I wear a lot of different hats. I'm an educator, coach, football coach, life coach, author coach, entrepreneur. You know what I mean? So best-selling author. So it's like, I got motion and stuff now. And now it's just trying to continue to lay down this foundation and now build on top of it. So
yeah. So with purpose, you didn't really know what yours was, and then it became quite clear through quite a harrowing experience. Yeah. Do you think that people have to go through some kind of massive, maybe not traumatic, but definitely a huge experience, a big, heavy experience in order to land firmly in their purpose? Or is it easier for some? What do you think?
I feel like everybody's different. Everybody's circumstances are different. So your situation and go about is going to be entirely different as far as you finding your purpose or you trying to figure out what it is. So sometimes I feel like some people have to go through that. You know what I mean? Things have to get worse for it to get better. And it's something about that adversity. Like I said, it introduces someone to themselves. So it's just like going through that adversity, and I guess it's a test of the universe to see how much backbone you got and how bad do you want what you say you want. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So for sure.
So what do you share with people now, when you're talking about purpose and someone's like, well, hey, Chancellor, I don't know what mine is. How do you figure it out? What do you say?
I ain't gonna sit here and portray this ultimate poise like I've been had it all figured out. I battled every emotion. Battle every emotion behind what I'm getting after right now. And I'm still battling all these emotions. I'm still, laying down this foundation. It ain't peaches and cream right now. You know what I'm saying? I got motion, but it's still a lot of work to do. It's a marathon. That's why we call this thing a marathon. It's life. We call this thing a marathon. It's long, it's long, it's hard, you know what I'm saying? But with your 10 toes to the ground, man, you got to keep going. And the only distinction quality between me and whoever else is going through this, already went through it, or is finna go through it, is that you're not going to quit. Right. Take the stand that I'm willing to die behind what I'm getting after right now. You know what I'm saying? I know who I am. I know what I believe. And that's all I need to know. From there on, you do what you need to do and watch the universe get out your way.
Or support you in the flow of your life, right? Part. Yeah. That part. Yeah. So much confidence just pouring out of you. And I feel like you were always that way, or did really football shaped it like that?
I've always been, I'm a Sagittarius, so I've always been confident. You know what I mean? I always had it, high level confidence. And then, of course, just what I've been able to accomplish and achieve throughout life, you know what I'm saying? Oh, that just add on too. You know what I'm saying? For sure. For sure.
Yeah. So who are your favorite people to work with? Like when you're coaching in any form, who do you love to work with?
Those who are ambitious, hungry, humble, willing to learn, like they exemplify characteristics that I have and I can identify with. You know what I mean? Just an underdog, for real. 'Cause I'm an underdog. Everything about me and my journey has been having to get it out the mud, from football to finding a career. You know what I'm saying? I've been having this, everything's been having to get it out the mud. And it ain't just been handed to me. So I always, I got a chip on my shoulder always. That's the confidence you hear. That's what keeps my engine rolling. So anybody that's, you know what I'm saying, an underdog, and just, you feel like things ain't been easy for you, but yeah, you still prevail. You still, you know what I'm saying, stay down. You still get up every day for sure. I love working with people like that.
Yeah. Like, I mean, really, as a coach, it's the only kind of person you got to work with people who are willing to do the work,
I mean,
right? And believe
facts,
that it's possible. You can't drag anybody out of the mud. They have to be willing to climb out themselves.
man, facts.
Yeah. And you know, that mud, like I like this reference. I like this metaphor of the mud because I always, so I told you before we started, don't swear, but it's like we got to sit in the, shit. We got to sit
Yeah.
in that for a while, not just be like, oh no, I can't be in it. Like, this is dirty. I can't get at it. It's uncomfortable, but we have to be willing to sit in the mud. And when you consider mud, like, people take mud baths on purpose to cleanse impurities, right? So if we're willing to just sit with the stuff, the mud, the discomfort, the pain, then we come out of it stronger, and we come out of it more confident, and we come out of it as teachers, right?
Facts.
Yeah.
On me. Each one teach one. Iron sharpens iron. That's what we say in football.
Yeah. So football, you're inspiring me with the football thing. Like, you learning so much from it. I just think it's like this bro sport, right?
I mean, it is. Yeah, it is that too. But hey, man, it's a lot of lessons, life skills you learn from football, man. It's sports in general, honestly, all sports, any sport. It really don't matter. It's just a different form of discipline and coachability. It's just a lot that you take away from, you know what I'm saying, being an athlete, especially a student athlete.
Right. You got to learn perseverance. You also learn how to be part of a team.
That part too. That part too.
Well, so how do we find you? Where do we get your book? Where do we find you? Where do you show up on social media? All that jazz.
For sure. Yeah, y'all can find me on every social media platform except TikTok. I ain't on there. But you can find me.
I just got the notice today. We've deleted your account because you're inactive. I'm like, that's good.
You can find me on everything else though. You ain't gonna find me on there. Just Google Chancellor K. Jackson. My books are available on my website, chancellorkjackson.com, as well as Amazon. So yeah, you can search up 14 Days in Beijing. I also have 2 romance novels, You Love and You Learn and Real Love Never Dies. And it's pretty much, it's all 3 books are telling one long story, all based on true experiences of my life. But the romance saga is pretty much a man's first step towards gaining emotional intelligence. But it brings everything full circle, letting you know what took place in China before me getting locked up, and then of course what took place after those infamous 14 days. So yeah, y'all can definitely go tap in with that. I also have the audio book for 14 days available on SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Anchor, and I'm narrating it, so y'all gonna enjoy it. It's a vibe. And any aspiring authors out there, you know what I'm saying? You have an idea or a concept for a story, but don't know how to go about putting it on paper. Or if you've written a whole book, but don't know how to go about publishing, tap in with your boy. I can walk you through either process or both of them if need be, for sure.
Brilliant. I want to listen to your audiobook because then I get that.
On me. On me. Get your popcorn ready. Popcorn and wine, I'm telling you. It's a movie.
I love it. Well, maybe a little chocolate in that case too.
On me, yeah.
So if you could only share one piece of wisdom with the world, what would it be?
Actually, it's perfect you asked this. It's a message I want to leave y'all with, and it's from Nipsey Hussle. For those that don't know who Nipsey Hussle was a serial entrepreneur, but very well known for his music and his clothing line is from South Central LA, you know what I'm saying, rolling 60s Crip, you know what I'm saying? But man, I'm talking about a mogul for real. But the message is long-winded, running through this life like it was mine. Never settling, but setting every goal high. 1,000 burpees on the path to my own self-destruction or success. But what's a mistake without the lesson? You see, the best teacher in life is your own experience. And none of us know who we are until we fail. They say every person is defined by their reaction to any given situation. So who would you want to define you? Someone else or yourself? Whatever you choose to do, homie, keep your heart to it and stay strong.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Chancellor, for sharing your story and your light. You're pretty awesome to be around.
I appreciate you for bringing me on here, allowing me to showcase myself, my talents, and most importantly, my spirit.
Oh, well, it's a blessing that you're sharing that with the world. And, it sucks that we have to go through what we have to go through to get to where we are. And when we own it and we let it be what it was and shine anyway and shine because of it, it's killer. I love it.
Oh, man.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate
All
you.
right, Spirit Cafe, let us know what you think of this conversation and get out there and get his books because I'm going to. So let's read them.
On me. On me.
All right. Thanks, Chancellor. Thank you, Spirit Cafe. See you next week. Thank you for joining us on Spirit Cafe. Please leave all comments on our Spirit Cafe Facebook page or in the comments below our YouTube videos.